Well, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Ben.
I would like to say that we are fresh-faced, we are freshened up, good and ready to go, like it's a new day, but that's not the case, is it?
No.
No, it's not. Afternoon, guys, thought you were both asleep, says DW. We got up at 4:30. It's not like I'm in need of sleep or anything like that. I'm definitely in need of sleep and everything like that, John. How are you doing anyway? How are you looking at the fallout of these midterms in the United States?
Well, it's again kind of unimpressed the way things are working out. We haven't had an update since we were last on, to be in real terms. Nothing's. No update on the amount of seats in either house. No. Or nothing has come out definitively for the governors either. So just to remind people, at the moment we're sitting at 48-47 Democrat to Republicans in the Senate. It's likely that there will be at least 49 seats for the Republicans, possibly 50. And there will be at least 50 seats for the Democrats. Yeah. Therefore, the best the Republicans can get in the Senate is a tie. And at worst, they will be one person short or one seat short of that tie.
But they do appear to be taking control of the House.
It's looking that way just now. They're sitting with 198 seats out of 435. The Democrats have 173. So 218 seats are needed for the majority, and certainly the Republicans are much closer to it than the Democrats. And the way things are going, it's looking like there's probably enough. Let me just do a quick head count of seats that are still to declare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe. Gonna 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's say 20 go Republican. Yeah. Right? What would that give us? That would give us 218.
It would.
There you go. So it's likely they're going to get there. I can't see any of the sites that are on, or any of the seats that are in contest just now not getting there. But you never know.
But even with a Republican-controlled House and a tied Senate, it basically is a repudiation. Whilst it's not a red wave,
it's not a red wave.
It is a repudiation of Joe Biden's presidency in a way, and it's going to make his position and his ability to govern that much harder.
Yeah.
So, there is some saving grace here. Trump is still trending on Twitter.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I'm trying to work that out. Why the 2022 election was such a disaster for Trump. This is from the Washington Post. Should we have a little read through this?
Go on then.
Right. The Washington Post are asking me for money.
Well.
It says understand the impact of the US elections and more. Give me money. No, Jeff Bezos, you've got enough money. So, and I have no money, so you can't have the money that I don't have. It's that simple, Jeff.
Jeff. Get to Jeff.
We were going to give him some advertisement as well. We were going to give him some free advertisement.
Are you saying they put themselves behind a paywall?
Yeah.
The New York Post have put themselves behind a paywall?
The Washington Post.
Oh, the Washington Post, right, sorry.
and I can't get around it.
No, I can't. I'm sorry, but I just can't afford to pay for my propaganda.
No, me either. Let me just try this one more time, right? No, that was too early. Right, give me a sec. Okay, I have the story here. No, they're wise to my tricks, John.
Yeah. Okay.
You try and press escape as quickly as you can to stop it loading, and it's like, nope, give me money. Jeff, I don't have any. You have plenty. I just want to read the goddamn story. But it's true. We don't have to read their story. It has been a disaster for Trump. It really has. And we have to be realistic, and we have to look at it in these terms. The only hope for the Republicans in 2024 appears to be Governor Rob. That's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Donald Trump will try and run again. He will announce. And
yeah, his ego's too big for him not to. That's the problem.
It's just a vanity project at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't see him, honestly, I don't see him winning. Or if he does win, it'll be very, very narrowly, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read a thread here from Ben Shapiro. His takeaway from the election so far. This is I can probably put it on screen for you. I can. There you go. So Ben Shapiro from 2 hours ago says, here's the basic takeaway from election 22 so far. Democrats will not change course on anything. They wildly outperformed expectations, except in Florida. Biden is their 2024 nominee unless he is fully incapacitated. Republicans wildly underperformed, and heads should roll. There is a lot of hope for the Republican coalition given their performance with Hispanic and black voters, but their candidate quality was poor and their leadership was either absent or counterproductive. Candidate quality matters. Underlying dynamics are not strong enough to drive bad candidates to victory. Donald Trump was a major drag on the Republicans, from his picks to his antics. Trump picked bad candidates, spent almost no money on his hand-picked candidates, and then proceeded to crap on the Republicans who lost and didn't sufficiently bend the knee. This will have 2024 impact. The Republican leadership class, paralyzed by the Trump phenomenon, failed to provide any leadership at all, except for DeSantis, who was a leader, an excellent candidate, and an organizer of his own party, leading to a Florida red tsunami.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he also implemented a lot of other election rules in Florida. I think he banned mail-in voting, or universal mail-in voting. I think he had a sort of election police watching the polls to make sure no shenanigans were afoot. And he did many other things. Voter ID, I believe, also was one of the things that he did in Florida. And it's have these measures that he implemented affected that result?
Possibly.
I think they possibly could have. Sticks Hexenhammer 666 responds here to Ben Shapiro.
Flippin' hell.
What's that?
I'm trying to get the YouTube channel running so I can watch the chat.
Yeah.
And it keeps pausing.
Oh, it seems to be running all right.
No, it's my side. It keeps pausing for some strange reason.
So we're seeing many conservatives, and I use, big C conservatives. We are seeing many conservatives, or small c conservatives, really repudiating Trump now. They are really pushing back.
What did I say this morning? If you can remember that far back, right?
I'm not sure I can.
Trump was never the GOP's choice, right? Never.
No, he was the people's choice.
Yeah, he was the people's choice, and the only reason the Republicans actually picked him to run was because they felt they had no option because of his ascendancy amongst the common man, right?
Yeah.
But he still was never their choice. And I think he was brought down by a combination during the 2020 election of both the GOP and the Democrats.
And his own ego.
Yeah, and his own ego. But I think the Republican Party actively conspired not to get elected.
Of course they did, right? Especially many of the old guard like Lindsey Graham and co, right? Of course they did, because this so-called MAGA movement, Make America Great Again movement, is not your typical Republican sort of platform or values, is it?
No, it's not.
And the problem is, regardless of whether or not you agree with that agenda, the MAGA agenda, they're playing a blinder right now. The Democrats especially, they're playing a blinder at painting this MAGA movement as extremist. And I personally think you're going to see more of that from within the Republican Party. Now, whether or not it's the right thing to do, whether or not it's true, that's not for me to judge. That's not for me to decide here as a commentator. It's just me. I'm just opining on what is going on. And do you think Trump will run? Do you think he will still announce? Or do you think he'll go, the writing's on the wall? Maybe it is time for somebody else.
Well, if you know anything about Trump, when's he ever seen the writing on the wall? Huh? All right. I mean, nobody wants him in. Really, nobody wants him in.
No.
I think the Republican Party will put his weight behind DeSantis.
I do agree. I agree with you. I think the Republican Party is going to put its weight behind DeSantis, and DeSantis is probably going to try and primary Trump. Will DeSantis primary Trump? Because at the end of the day, it's down to the base when it comes to the primaries.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if he does primary Trump and he loses, what's going to happen there? There is going to be a major rift, isn't there? Trump is going to trump. And he's going to attack Ron. He will attack Ron all throughout the primaries. He won't do any favors for the Republican Party. And especially if they want to run Ron DeSantis on the 2028 ticket. So it's weighing that up against whether or not he thinks it's time to run now. And, you know, personally speaking, from the outside looking in, I think Governor Ron 2024 is probably their most sensible option. Mm-hmm. Especially if we look at, like Mr. Shapiro said here, the quality of campaigning and the quality of candidacy and the quality of fair election, or free and fair election. People might say he did voter suppression by having voter ID. I'm not so sure that I agree with that. Because surely Florida's one of those states where if you don't have a voter ID, you can get one for free. Because I know there are many states that do that. I could be wrong, and Florida might not be.
I don't know.
But there are ways and means to get ID to vote, and it's just sheer laziness. Natasha says, I don't think Ron will run. And see, that's the other question. Remember, the 2024 cycle begins today. So this is it. This is when candidates will start to put their hat in the ring. This is campaigning for in 2 years' time has now pretty much officially or unofficially begun. So he would have to announce like now, or at least within the next 3 to 6 months, I would say. And then the campaigning would have to begin. And that would really be a detriment to his role as governor, because he wouldn't be doing his role as governor, because he'd be on essentially a countrywide publicity tour for 18 months. Yeah. So that is the other thing you've got to think about here. And I think Ron's got to think about. Natasha says he will go for the 28 election. Now, the thing that I've always seen touted, or I've been seeing touted for the last year or so, is the Trump DeSantis ticket. Now, what would you say? Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't know. I think the problem with Trump is he is tainted now.
Yeah, he is.
And you know, regardless of whether he wants to run or not, I don't think he's I don't think he's got the capability of winning.
And, sad, but maybe true.
Because I think it might come down to the fact that the GOP think, well, I'll tell you what, let him run and lose, and then he can't come back at us, and we'll just concentrate 2028.
Maybe, but what if you were to win?
I don't think he will.
But
I don't think he can.
But let's take that scenario for a minute, right? And say he does win the next presidential election.
Well, if he wins, then the Republicans are in, and.
But will he be able to govern? That's the question I want to know. Would he be able to effectively govern?
Depends what state the House and the Senate are in.
But even if they are majority Republican, the Republicans seem to be turning their back on him.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like Boris Johnson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, Boris Johnson could have ran for Prime Minister and could probably have won it.
He could have done. He would have definitely won.
Could he have effectively governed?
And this is why, basically, he says that he didn't do it, why he didn't go for it. Speaking of our ridiculous government, a little bit of an update on the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here front. So tonight, Matt Hancock enters the jungle. In fact, he's probably in now.
Yeah, but...
They're making him do a trial.
Yeah, but it's not getting aired at 9. It's been held back because Martin Lewis is coming on or something.
Okay, so is it going out at 9:30?
I don't know when it's going out. I just saw that Martin Lewis is coming on at 9, so it's not airing at its normal time.
No, it aired at 9:30 last night, I believe.
Well, apparently it's not airing at its normal time.
But if you are especially unhappy with Matt Hancock, whilst I would never encourage giving the man airtime, he's going to be put through some uncomfortable situations on TV at some point tonight, so perhaps it might be worth a chuckle. That's all I'm saying.
Don't have a TV.
You do have a computer, though.
I do have a computer.
Natasha says she can see Martin Lewis ending up in politics. You know what? So can I.
I don't like the man.
No, I don't. I think he's very self-righteous. But
he's a bit of a knob.
Bit of a knob. Aye, bit of a knob. Tell you who else is a bit of a knob.
Nipola.
I haven't watched that short yet, but whatever you put out on our channel, it's really polarizing people.
Yeah, well, she says that women are inordinately affected by climate change.
What?
Yeah. That affects women more than it affects men.
How?
Now, there's something she didn't explain. But apparently, climate change affects women more, and we need more women to make the decisions about it because, let's face it, all the decisions Nicola's made have been fucking brilliant.
She just doesn't like men, does she?
Oh, of course she doesn't. She's a carpet muncher.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly about it. She is a carpet. You can say what you like. She's a carpet muncher. And everybody in Scotland knows it. You can call a spade here, mate.
Fair enough, man. So I don't even know where to go from there. What you got for us?
Well, somebody threw eggs at King Charles.
They did. That was today, wasn't it? Their visit to York.
In York.
Did they hit him?
No. They threw. I mean, somebody said somebody tried to throw an egg at King Charles. They actually threw about 4, and their aim was appalling.
Didn't even hit Camilla's Buffon.
It wasn't. There was nowhere near him. Well, I was disappointed. I was disappointed with one of the security guys though, because he had an umbrella and he didn't put the umbrella up.
Oh wow!
And I went, the umbrella of protection.
Before we do move on, please stick a like on the show and subscribe and share if you haven't done already. We would really, really appreciate that. Someone said he was a green politician. That's, I'm guessing, the twat Martin Lewis. Natasha says someone said he was a green politician.
Who cares?
I'm guessing we're talking about the money-saving expert, Martin Lewis. Is he a money-saving expert, or is he just, a twat?
I think he's just a twat. Really,
Well, when you look at his forum, the money-saving expert, it's got his name at the top there, but it's everybody else giving money-saving ideas to each other.
Let's go back round in a little circle here, shall we?
A little circle?
Let's go back to this morning, what we were talking about. So what's Martin Lewis doing? He's telling you how to save money so you don't spend money on energy and things like that, or food that you don't need. And all he's really doing is keeping you in your box, isn't he?
Get in your box.
Yeah, because he's not telling you how to use that money to change your life, how to emerge from the closed-in thinking that you're in, how to get out of your box. He's keeping you in your box. He's telling you to save money.
Yeah.
And saved money's of no use to anyone. I mean, especially when you've got inflation running. There's no point in saving money. Yeah. Because you're just losing money. As soon as you put it in the bank, you're losing money. Yeah. So get the money out of there and spend it. But spend it appropriately and think about creative ways to spend it where you're going to start making more money rather than just spending it on things that you don't need and you don't want. Right? So he's right on that part, but don't not spend it. Still spend the money. Mm-hmm. Spend the money on things that are of value to you, that give you information and let you change your way of thinking. Things like chasing Dissent. Spend the money on us.
Links in the chat.
Help you think outside your box.
But aren't we then doing what Martin Lewis, money saving expert, is doing?
No, because we're not telling you what to do with regard to saving money. We're telling you what to do with regard to changing your life.
Yeah. And
we're not trying to keep you in your box. We're trying to get you out of it. We're trying to give you the tools that you need to think independently, to think critically, to question, to be skeptical.
It's mostly just
laughing. To be ungovernable.
It's mostly
to change your life.
It is mostly just laughing, isn't it?
Well, and that, but,
I've actually got a tweet here which is quite relevant. This is about perception, right? And this is about perception. And it kind of leans into what you're talking about here. This is from Tim Pool, and this was 35 minutes ago. He tweets, "It's funny how Republicans won. DeSantis, Abbott, and Kemp won handily. 224 House seats now projected, and yet I see leftists mocking the GOP as if they lost, and conservatives are lamenting the results. The forecast was so bad for the Democrats that the GOP winning this well is considered a loss."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
It is a good point, isn't it?
Because, if they win the House, it's not a red wedding.
Well, exactly. They're winning the House.
Yeah. And they are winning the House. I mean, the grassroots population of the US is behind them.
Yes.
What isn't behind them is the big cities with all the lefty liberals in it in Hollywood. That's what's not behind them.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I can see 13 people watching this live on YouTube right now and not a single like on there, and I feel quite offended.
Hello, 13 people. Why don't you like us? What have we done to offend you? In fact, belay that question. I don't care. I don't care if we offend you. But why don't you like us?
Why don't you like us?
It's your right to be offended.
So what is the red wedding analogy, asks Natasha. Oh, there's one there now.
Well, hold on. Before we go that, we'll go back briefly to answer Natasha's question from earlier on. It was a green politician that was supposed to have egged the king.
Oh.
That's what the Green politician comment was about. Now, that's interesting. We'll need to look into that, because that would be quite cool, wouldn't it?
That would be funny. That would be
because
funny.
Why would a Green politician be trying to egg the king? I mean, let's face it. Charles doesn't exactly disdain his Green credentials, you know. I mean, he might run about in a Range Rover in a private jet, but he still does spout the party line when it comes to the Green credentials, and always has for quite some considerable time, to be fair. I mean, he talks to his plants, doesn't he?
He does. He caresses them.
Because he knows. He knows that carbon dioxide makes them grow more, and that's why he talks to them. That's why it's not the talking to the plant that necessarily does the job. It's the fact that you're breathing on it, and it's getting loads of lovely carbon dioxide. And that's what makes it grow better.
Yeah, but the conversations, I can imagine them now. Oh, Felicia the ficus, you are so wonderful.
I can imagine them being exactly the same as the conversations he has with Camilla.
Is that why her hair looks the way it does? He's modelled her after a plant.
Hey, Camilla, you remind me of my favourite hyacinth. My lily.
Oh, Camilla, darling. Oh, Camilla. You stand as tall and as proud as the tree in the corner over there.
It's like somebody styled Camilla's hair in 1982, and that was it. It's never changed since.
Oh, are we allowed to talk about our queen consort that way?
Well, who's stopping you?
I've got some news for you, actually.
Go on.
I'm just going to bring it up on Twitter, because this is quite interesting. So, do you know who Brittany Griner is?
Right. I asked the question earlier in our chat, and Adam was just being a dick again, so I completely ignored them.
Yeah.
Right? My question was, is that a man? That was my question.
And it's not a question that I'm willing to answer here.
Why?
But because I honestly, it's 2022. Who am I to say who is a man or a woman?
Well, biologically.
I think it's biologically a woman.
You're fucking shitting me. Really?
I think so. Yeah.
That's one scary fucker. No wonder it's in prison. The judge probably looked at her and thought, "Yee, my God, I can't let that out."
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Imagine it roaming the streets of Russia. People will think bears have invaded.
So anyway,
she's a giant.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you to our favourite publication, The Gift That Keeps On Giving, the
size
New
of your
York
hands.
Post. I'll read the story in full, but I'll bring the headline up for you before I do. So, WNBA star, women's NBA star, Brittany Griner. So the story is she travelled to Russia and she had some vapes on her. And the vapes had cannabis oil in them. And Russia being Russia and not really liking America and looking for any excuse to get at America, went, "We're going to put you in jail for 9 years." Okay. And they've sentenced her to 9 years in jail.
Well, and bear in mind, if this had been somewhere like Manila or Malaysia or something like that, she'd be on death row. Yes,
but this is just for... But once again, we take things like this for granted, because I can go to the shop and buy cannabis vape, right? I can buy...
okay.
I can buy it at the shop.
But this isn't Russia yet.
Yes, that's correct. But... So she's sentenced to 9 years in the jail. America have been trying to get her back and failing abysmally by the looks of it. And they've even offered some prisoner swaps, because that's basically what Russia want, isn't it? That's why they've done this.
Who do they want?
I don't know who they want exactly, but they'll want some high-profile person for this WNBA star in return. So anyway, let's bring up this headline from the New York Post, because Brittany Griner, ladies and gentlemen, has gone to Gulag. WNBA star Brittany Griner transferred to Russian forced labor camp. So she's gone from a prison cell. She's now off to the Gulag. Just your reaction is what I'm laughing at.
I don't know what that is. I really don't.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Look at the size that she's towering. Towering over that portly Russian guard in the background.
Remember, she's an NBA player, and you do kind of have to be freakishly tall in order to play basketball.
Yeah, okay, but the same token, you've got me at the word freakish.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, no!
It doesn't look like a woman, though. It's scary.
Right,
Right, the head-shoulder ratio's all wrong. You know the head-shoulder ratio.
That's where we are. Not the fact that she's been sent to the fucking gulag, but that's where we're hung up on.
Well, you know, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. That's why I would never go to Turkey. Because I don't want to spend time in a Turkish prison. I watched the film Midnight Express. I realised that you could be set up, and I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to Turkey because I'm never going to a Turkish prison.
Fair enough, John. That's fair enough. Anyway, here we go. From the New York Post. WNBA star Brittany Griner.
You're still going on with us?
I said I'd read the story.
All right, okay.
WNBA star Brittany Griner has been moved to a Russian forced labor camp months after the basketball player was arrested in Russia for allegedly possessing cannabis oil. The development is the latest update after Griner's appeal of a 9-year sentence was denied by a Russian court last month. The White House released a statement early Wednesday morning condemning the move. So Joe Biden's got out of bed? Is that what or is it just one of his spokespeople?
Why would Biden? Biden won't even know who she is.
That's true.
That's true. She's of no interest to me. I can't possibly get close enough to sniff that.
It's in a Russian gulag. How am I meant to smell this one out?
I can't. She'd be like, something smells wrong here.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. Anyway, enough of this misgendering.
Every minute.
I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I'm completely at a loss here. I don't know if it's one of those cases or not. I mean, I'm just
I
appalled.
Can't believe we are still here.
I'm just appalled by the whole thing. It's just wrong. I'm just appalled that we've even got this as a news story because I really don't care. You know, some entitled sportsman stroke woman, or should I say spokesperson, decides that they're above the law, flaunts it, gets caught, gets put in jail. You know, don't go crying to Team America World Police now. Don't do the fucking thing wrong in the first place. It's like basic stupidity. You don't do stupid things when you're going to countries that don't mess about. It's like if you go to Dubai and declare yourself openly, well, maybe not Dubai, but if you go to like Qatar and declare yourself openly gay and then go on Tinder and try and hook up and get gang banned by a whole bunch of Qatari police who set you up and then deport you, who's to blame, really? You got to look at yourselves for a bit of that. Yeah?
I'm definitely not going to victim blame. I'm not going to do that. I'm not
going to what?
I'm not going to victim blame. I'm going to say you shouldn't have done that.
You don't need to victim blame because these people are professional victims. They go out to make themselves victims because you cannot, with any kind of self-knowledge, right, of any kind of common sense, go to Qatar and try and hook up on a gay dating app, right? You're off your freaking nut if you think that's the sensible course of action. And to get caught by the authorities and then whatever happened to you and subsequently arrested and deported, it's your fault.
I certainly don't think that the people who are out there and protesting about LGBT rights should be, well, they definitely, obviously, I'm a firm believer and supporter in anybody being who they want to be and loving who they want to love and sleeping with who they want to sleep with. But what people have to realize and understand is we aren't the owners or rulers of those countries, and those countries fundamentally say no, and they say it's wrong, and they say you can't do that here. So going out there and protesting, you're going to be met with a different kind of response than you would, say, on the street of London.
Well, you first of all, right, if you're going to go and do something like that in a foreign country that is a different culture, a different set of rules, right, you've got to understand what you're going into. And if you go out there thinking, I'm a citizen of the world, I can go wherever I like, I can do whatever I like, I can protest about everything, I have free speech, then you're very, very sadly mistaken, because I mean, it's like a lot
of these places just don't care about what you think.
But even then, let's go back. Just say London, right? Right. There must be no-go areas in London for white people by now. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I couldn't neither confirm or deny that.
Well,
but
no, stop beating about the bush, right? There are places that you wouldn't walk down at night, right, in London, surely, because there are in Glasgow. Right? There are places I wouldn't walk through in Glasgow,
right?
And it's not nothing to do with colour. It's just because of the type of people that are there, not their colour, right? But there will be places in London that you know that if you walk down there, the chances are something's going to happen to you. You're either going to get in a fight, or you're going to get robbed, or something's going to happen, right? Any big city is the same.
Okay.
Now, if you choose to go and do that, you do it with your eyes open, and it's not right that it happens to you, but you are partly to blame, because you knew the chances of it happening were high, and yet you went anyway.
I mean, if you're a tourist and you didn't know, that's a completely different story. But
I'm not saying that.
If you're
but
a local...
these people going to protest are not tourists.
No, they're professional protesters.
Yeah, exactly. So they should know what they're walking into.
They should. And I mean, look, I mean, we support everybody here on the show. You can see the tree of representation is here for all of you to place a ball upon this Christmas if you should so feel like it. And you can do so by going to the Discord, whatever the link is. Adam will put it in the chat for the live people, and it could well be in the description already. I'm not sure, but yeah. If it's not, it will be, and you can sponsor my balls. That's a little donation over here. If you would like to give a donation to the PayPal account that's on there, and you give me a message, you give me your name, you get a ball. It goes upon the tree of representation for the entirety of the Christmas period, and everything is cool. I've got some actual lights to go on it as well, not just the crappy battery-powered built-in 20 LEDs that are on it. I've got an actual string of lights down in the box from last year that I shall repurpose. So it shall...
Jolly good.
Yeah, so some extra light in here as well. I'm also probably going to start wearing my glasses soon. Yes, there'll be some glare and reflection, but I can't see shit.
Yeah, well... It's probably the sugar.
Anything else coming in? So you feel at this point that it's like...
Yeah. Right, I don't know how true it is or not, okay? But somebody tweeted, cheap holidays to Ukraine, 2022-2023 Ukraine holidays from travelrepublic.ie.
I saw that, yeah.
So I don't know how true it is or not, but it would be a scream if it is, right? It would be funny. Somebody put up something about a woman in tears after her bank account froze and she sounded like a man on the phone, transgender. But it's from 2018, old, very old.
Yep.
It says here Ukrainian soldiers got hold of Russian military rations and started making jokes about giving it to animals. The laughing stopped real quick as they opened the box. They were literally shocked. Probably the best meal they've seen in months. Yeah, okay. I'm not quite sure if they're rations or if they're military rations or not. They are certainly Russian. But it looked like the ones that were given out to civilians. Were those MREs that were given out to civilians? But it's a nice pack. It's better than you'd get on a plane.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
It's got pate and everything in it, and soup, and it looks lovely. It looks like something you could eat.
So let's segue back to what we were talking about this morning. Let's segue back to Just Stop Oil, because I got a cracker for you here, John.
Go on.
This is just a bit of a ha funny. This is an ITV News interviewed a Just Stop Oil representative earlier on today, and this guy here calls himself Dr. Woofter Superior. Yep, that's what he calls himself on Twitter. Has tweeted this.
Taylor Swift.
Choose your own Just Stop Oil activist name by using your favourite colour and picking a now defunct business. I'm Lavender Woolworth.
Oh, sorry, I never heard you. I've got my headphones on. Thank you very much.
What's he got been delivered? Oh my god. Oh my god, he gets delivered. And he can just pause the show. We can just pause the show for a minute and wait for John to finish his conversation. And then when he has done so, we will continue the funny. Right in the middle of a joke. Right in the middle of a joke. Moderators, you're supposed to be trying to decide whether or not Natasha's comment there was acceptable. I have accepted it. But my moderators are doing a... Come on, guys. There's 2 of you in there. 2 of you. Yeah, look, it's just having a wonderful conversation there. Let's opine for a minute on what they are talking about. He's going, oh, that Ben over there, he's an absolute bastard. Oh, yeah. Look, my wife's just, I just want to thank you for bringing me coffee. I really like coffee. I also really like coffee, by the way. Look, nobody here to bring me coffee. Nope, because the wife's out picking the children up from school whilst I sit here and do this. Hi, John, are we back?
Right, I'm back.
So look at the name of this Just Stop Oil activist. So this riffs on what I'm talking about with them all of the time.
Oh, Indigo.
Indigo Rumbelow.
Yeah,
So the joke is, choose your own Just Stop Oil activist name by using your favourite colour and picking a now defunct business. And this guy says, I'm Lavender Woolworths.
Yeah.
What would your Just Stop Oil name be, John?
I don't know.
Mine would be something like, I don't know. What a defunct business is, really. What do we have? Woolworths is one of them, like a major one.
It's coming back. Apparently it's coming back.
Kind of, maybe, probably not. Maybe I'll go with Turquoise Toys R Us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I thought it was funny.
It's hilarious, mate. It's hilarious.
I did think so. So, Artifacting Reality says the Discord link doesn't work for him. That's Adam. That's your department. That is your department. So, I think we don't have to go on any longer than this, John. I think.
Let me just check and see if there's been any update on the what do you call it?
On the midterm elections?
Midterms.
Right. Has there? No
update yet.
So there has been no update. So what we will do then is we will bring you any further updates. The last tweet I've seen really is from Chuck Callisto, which was a couple of hours ago, and we were talking about this. Anyhow, it says breaking report: Kari Lake within striking distance of Katie Hobbs. Arizona governor race, 62.39% reporting. Katie Hobbs 50.86%. Kari Lake 49.14%.
Yeah, well that's old because it's now 69% reported.
Okay.
And it's Katie Hobbs 50.3% and Kari Lake 49.7%.
That's a runoff if it continues to stay where it is.
There's now only 12,000 votes between them.
Oh, that's insane.
That is an update.
That is an update.
That's just happened. So the only because when we started this show there was 30,000 votes between them. There's now 12.
There's now 12,000 votes between Kari Lake and Katie Hobbs.
Yeah. So she is closing in on her.
Do you think she takes it?
Still only 69% of votes counted. How much is the mail-in?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where the depends. She needs to be ahead when the mail-in finish. When the physical votes counting's finished.
Yes.
Nevada. Let's see if that's changed. No, it's still on 80%. So Nevada's still 49.9% towards Adam for the House seat.
Right.
Republican side, and Catherine Cortez Masto, the incumbent, the Democrat, is down at 47.2. So they now have 23,000 votes between them.
So the Republican is looking like he could be on track to become senator.
He's starting to pull away, yeah.
But once again, we've got the mail-in ballots, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. And over in Nevada, it is the middle of the night right now, or it's very early morning at the very least. And mail-in ballots could have appeared overnight. So we will just have to keep an eye on all of that. And with that in mind, I am done with the news until tomorrow.
Okay, mate.
So, John, tell them where to go and what to do and how to share and like and subscribe and find and all that.
Yeah, do that. Do you know what to do? For fuck's sake, people, you're big boys and girls. You know what to do. Just do it.
You do.
Stop mucking about.
And if you're over on Rumble as well, make sure you.
I'm not going to spoon feed you. I'm not going to spoon feed you. You know what to do. Just do it.
We've had a very, very large Rumble viewership actually overnight, so we would like to appreciate all of you over there and say thank you. But you didn't subscribe, so make sure if you're watching on Rumble, you do subscribe. With that, we will see you tomorrow for our usual show at 2 p.m. Bye bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children.
Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience to talk. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Tim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system.
You forgot Uranus.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work to.
Good night, Tim Bob.
Good night, Tim Bob.